Trans women are women and trans men are men. There are two types of people in this world. There are the allies, which is the good side of history, and the people who actually understand gender, who are open-minded and intelligent and want to hear the facts, or as Ben Shapiro says, facts and logic, because facts don't care about your feelings. Or Matt Walsh, when he says there is no compromise. There is no compromise. Trans women are women and trans men are men. Or you're a bigot. There's three types of people. There's the grifters who make money off it, like Fox News, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, all these people, right? And then there's the woke crowd, when there's 89 genders now, and people can identify as an attack helicopter. Both of these are completely false and stupid. These conservative dudes don't acknowledge the problems that it causes. There's such a difference between gender and sex. They are completely different. Sex is what you were born as. If you were born a male, that is your sex, and you have the chromosomes, either XX or XY, and if you're born female, we all acknowledge this. No one is taking biology away from the argument here. There is a rarity of intersex people, which is extremely rare, and is a chromosomal phenomenon, but apart from that, it is factually evident that trans women are women and trans men are men. You have to have respect for people like this and make sure they feel safe, and don't support these bigots. And if you believe Matt Walsh and what the Daily Wire says and Ben Shapiro, you have been grifted, my friend. They are just using you for money. They are objectively, they are horrible people. They're transphobes. They don't care that we are less than 1% of the population and suicidal minorities and everything we go through to be happy. They don't care about that. They just want to make money off of minorities, and it is horrible. But the way the mind works, the human psychology, is extremely complex, and scientists don't even understand it yet. It's a chemical phenomenon. We all have feelings that make us up, you know, of either masculinity or femininity. 1% of the people are trans in the world, and you have to acknowledge them and make sure they feel safe with, you know, I am a trans woman, so I am objectively female. That is my gender, but my sex, my biological sex that I was born with, and I can never change, unfortunately, even though I wish it was, is the male sex. But it doesn't mean I am a man. I am still, my gender is still female, and I'm a woman, and you should identify me as she, her, because if you don't, that's objectively false, and it is also just being transphobic, and you have given in to these horrible transphobic people. There's such a confusion between sex and gender. It is mad. We should all respect these people and strive to find the facts and ignore these bigots, these horrible people that need to be brought down. And there's also the woke mob as well, which is completely disgusting. How Matt Walsh could make a film called What is a Woman? One Man's Journey to answer the question of a generation, when the question is right there. All you have to do is look at the science and logic. But Matt Walsh and Ben Shapiro know stuff like this. They are either too stupid not to know it, which I don't think they are. They're just grifting. They are just making people out of money. It is horrible, essentially. And homosexuality was seen as horrible and disgusting, and now is, you know, seen as normal. And this will happen to trans people. More time will go on, these transphobes will go. Be on the right side of history, be a trans ally, and just be with the facts. These grifters are horrible. They are affecting suicidal people, and this is a message to all of them. If you see this, fuck you. You know what you're doing. It is horrible. Approximately 10% of people are gay, and less than 1% of the people are trans, including me. I'm a trans woman. I will transition, and I will be happy. Stop making people uncomfortable. Society treats people horribly. Half of the people seem to be bigots and transphobes, and the others seem to be on the right message here. We all should come together, and I hope people will look at companies like the Daily Wire and shut them down, because they are absolutely disgusting. And don't say gender is a social construct. That is also false and woke and stupid. They need to go by biology, facts, and logic. I hope this explained it in this little 5-minute intro, and we'll start off with the rest of the video. Again, gender is determined by not just your biology, but there is lots of different things working in your mind, and women like different things to men. For example, I knew I was a woman because I'm more affectionate. I love makeup. I just want to wear women's clothes, interested in more creativity and art, and that is what the roles are. But also, you know, very feminine men can like them as well. But this can be another distraction and a weapon people use. A lot of things are evolving, and I hope people are understanding this. I am a trans woman, and I will go through the surgery and appropriate my gender identity, and I will be a transsexual woman, a female person. This is absolutely ridiculous that people are so phobic to such a minute section of the population. It's absolutely ridiculous. I hope this explains things. I recommend watching Professor Dave's video if you want more information on this. I just wish people could be kind to each other and just all come together and listen. Hi, it's Violet here. Trans men are men and trans women are women. You think that'd be the end of the argument? You think in 2023 that people would understand the difference between sex and gender? You think people would be respectful and human and understand people and gender dysphoria? But no, you have to explain this to people, and it is maddening. People take this as some sort of personal attack on gender itself. We all know about the biology of male and female, and this is where the hypocritical nature of a phobic comes in, because nobody is denying this. We are just saying that a person being trapped in their own body is fact. It is proven by science, and of course the mind is a very complex thing, and you can never know or pass judgment on the person's experience. And I want to explain to you why trans women are women. I've been suffering for 10 years. I knew something was wrong when I was 12. When puberty happened afterwards, I felt great discomfort. I would love nothing more, trans men and trans women love nothing more than to have that magic button to turn us biologically into male and female, and have all this pain, all this suffering we have every day, all this suicidal thoughts every day, gone forever, because we are finally the gender that we are inside and outside. My shell doesn't define me. This isn't me. It is me, but it isn't my mind. It isn't the way I think. I think very feminine. When I was 12, all I wanted to do is wear makeup, and I saw all the other girls wearing dresses and skirts, and I would love nothing more to do that. When all my body parts were wrong, I wanted to kill myself, and I was. I had a knife to my throat when I was 15. And then I realised that there was hormones and HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and the surgery, and I could fully transition into the gender that I am and be happy. But then the phobia came along, and I found out that people were against transgender women. And notice the term transgender woman. We're still women inside, but we acknowledge the biology of women. We're not actually taking anything away from the female sex. We all know about science, we all know about biology, but you bring this into some kind of political war, and it's maddening, and it's deeply upsetting that people like Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire attack such suicidal minorities. It is absolutely disgusting. And yes, we are suicidal. That is how bad gender dysphoria is. I am suicidal every fucking day. I want to take my life every day because I'm the wrong gender, right? On the outside. And it's all about understanding the mind and research gender dysphoria. And people are so phobic, just all the comments just completely ignoring the morality of it and trying to take away trans women's womanhood from us, trying to take away our femininity. And that is wrong and disgusting, and we still have a long way to go. 40 or 50 years ago, they thought gay people had a fetish and were mentally disturbed and paedophiles. Yeah, that's how horrible they said. I was in awe and shocked at the things I was reading about this for this video, and then I was like, but that's human progress. That is what's... Oh, my little doggies come out. Hello. And of course, hello Sasha. But she's come to join the video, and as you can see, it's really hot, but I'm going to film this anyway. By the way, if you're going to dislike the video, I saw the last one. I don't care what other people think. You know, I am a woman, and you can't take that away from me. That is who I am. And no matter how much you cry and how much you put your transphobic stuff and pretend to know about gender and sex, you can never take that away from me. I am a woman. I'm going to transition and be completely happy. And yeah, I won't be suicidal anymore, and all the self-harming I've been doing all my life and all the pain and suffering I've been through, which you do not understand, only trans people understand. I can tell you about it, you can read about it, but yeah, why would you... Hello Sash, why would you spread hate? Do you want to... Hello Sasha. And Sasha's really hot, but I'm going to let her go now. I hope you enjoyed my last video. By the way, if you're just a hater, just going on to dislike it, whatever, thank you so much. You're actually helping me, giving me views, and I will use the comments for another video, you know, calling out people and you know, calling out your hypocrisy and your stupidity. Yeah, I've suffered long enough. I'm a nice person. I respect the people who say, okay, we're going to acknowledge you exist and you can do whatever you want with your body, you deserve those rights. Those type of people aren't faulty, but then you carry on. Then you go and put in the comments to hurt trans people and say, yeah, but they're not actually women. And I understand why you would do that, because you don't understand the gender and sex, and you don't understand the struggle of a trans person and what they will go through to actually get to the point where they're happy. You have to respect people's pronouns, and if you're not going to do that, then not only are you being phobic, but you are actually really hurting the trans person's feeling. And you might not give a shit, but what about if the person goes home and cuts themselves? I mean, you don't want that to happen, do you? Or maybe you do, maybe you are sick. But yeah, this is about human rights, and the reason I mentioned Daily Wire and Matt Walsh is I don't care about views, I just care about raising attention. I'm making these videos for trans people specifically. You know, any phobia and hate that comes after that is just, you know, you being silly and wasting your time. And why are people so interested in what other people do in their life? Why would you hate the LGBTQ community? What are they doing to you? You can do whatever you want in your life. We're not dictating your life, and you can't dictate ours. And then maybe you're saying, oh, I'm not doing that, but he's supporting the Daily Wire and Matt Walsh. Oh, unfortunately, he's a very transphobic man, and he tries to make us out like we're some kind of criminals and Nazis and everything, when trans people are just humans like you and I. And then people like Posey Parker, who is a horrible transphobic person, tries to make us out like we're some kind of villains, when we're just normal people that were unfortunately born as the wrong gender, and we identify as the other. I just don't understand what all the hate is, but I guess I'll never understand that, because, you know, people are weird, aren't they? But yeah, the general transphobia, like people just saying, oh, you're mentally disturbed and there's only men and women, and then there's, you know, people who are open-minded and actually understand and said, yes, we understand your pain, we understand your lifelong suffering, and we're going to be kind to you, and, you know, call you by your pronouns and by your gender. And I don't get what the big debate is about it, and it's just a shame that these companies grift off it. And it's really upsetting, because these are minorities, and these are really deeply depressed people. Trans people already have enough trouble already. You know, I have to put up a lot with in my life, and I'm not doing. I don't care about myself. I don't want sympathy. You know, I'm grateful for my parents and my friends, and my films I watch and everything. But it does get me down that there is so much hate towards the trans community. Can't we just all come together and agree that we all know about biology, but trans men are men and trans women are women? But you just can't do that, can you? Because you're either phobic or you don't understand the difference between gender and sex. And you can have opinions and everything, but when you go around, you know, screaming to people and claiming that you're gonna be nasty to trans people, this does affect people, you know. And I just don't understand why you can't be kind, show a bit of humility and show kindness and be a good person. And that is what really this is about. And I felt very passionate about doing these videos. Trans people deserve to live their life without being ridiculed. And how do you know what goes on in my head? I'm very feminine, you know. I always think like a woman. You know, again, trans men and trans women would give anything to just click our fingers and be completely changed into the other gender. That's all we want, that's what we live for. But you know, unfortunately we have to start hormones. I mean, it is fortunately, in reality of course, and transition. And I can't wait to finally get rid of this horrible thing between my legs that I don't identify with and gives me suicidal thoughts. Because that's how my mind works, because I'm a woman and I hate everything about myself. And if you can't understand that, and if you can't open your mind, that's your problem and not mine. You know, you can say what you want in the comments, but I'm going to keep raising awareness about why trans people deserve to be called the gender that they are, because they are that. The way they think, the way they feel inside, the way they are transitioning to be what they become, you know. And of course we can never have the body parts within us, but unfortunately that is reality, and there's no point ridiculing us for that. We all know about biology, but being a woman is about the way you think and about the way you identify and the way you live your life. That's what being a woman means, and I'm going to be proud to explore my womanhood, and I'm going to explore to live a feminine life, a happy life and a free life as myself. And no matter how much people like Matt Walsh try to bring us down, I will keep making videos like this. I will keep making happy videos, vlogs about exploring, but yes, I will get much more louder and much more stronger, and any hate I get in the comments just makes me stronger. And yeah, I don't care what you say. Actually, they make me laugh how stupid they are. But if you want to give any actual constructive criticism, because I'm all for that, obviously. I'm a film critic, that's something I love. I love looking at both perspectives of it, you know. And it doesn't matter what political side you're on, it's just about humanity, it's just about understanding gender and sex, it's just about respecting trans people and the way they want to live. And you can't just go around saying, oh, I'm not going to call a trans woman she, because you are genuinely misgendering them, and that's dangerous, and it will really hurt them inside. And yeah, that will make you a really bad person. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit sweaty. Look at the state of me. But I'm going to have a shower now and have my tummy pain, because I have so much illnesses, but I still want to do this. But yeah, trans women are women, trans men are men, keep up the fight. You know, people like Posey Parker, Matt Walsh, fuck them, honestly, they're horrible. Grifters, they spread lies about us, and they are just generally wrong. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really need to make myself pretty. I might put on some makeup later, or oh no, am I not allowed? Because I'm not biologically that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, show some understanding, and thanks for watching.